Chenango Forks Board of Education meeting, October 28th, 2021. Erin, will you please conduct roll call?
Amy O'Brien,
Here.
Mary Collins,
Here.
Michael Vavra,
Here.
Lynn Lockwood,
Here.
and Christine Webb.
Here. We have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
1.3 public comment.
The public wishing to speak to the Board of Education will be allowed this period of time to do so under the following guidelines. Speakers will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and the entire public comment session to a maximum of 30 minutes. Speakers are requested to stand, state their name and topic. Speakers will not be allowed to personally attack any board member, administrator, or any of the public present. Also, no comments by the speakers will be permitted that deal with executive session subjects such as individual personnel matters, disciplinary issues pertaining to specific individuals, including students. The speakers will not be allowed to read letters. Also, the sign-up sheet is kept in the front of the room for each meeting. If you could please sign in and state that you'd like to speak, we can call on you by name. And just to remind people at home that if you're logging in via Zoom, we cannot take your questions. Technology just doesn't allow for it. So to ask a question, you do need to be present. Thank you. So our first speaker is Jeff O'Brien for Vaccine Clinic.
Okay.
Thank you very much. As she said, I want to talk about the vaccine clinic, but first I want to thank you guys for volunteering your time to serve on the board. You guys spend a lot of time to represent us, the people, the taxpayers, and we really appreciate it. As representatives for us, I have to say that any discussion regarding the vaccine clinic here at our school or on school property, I don't really agree with. I don't think that you or us as an education center should be providing medical treatments. Medical treatments are reserved for hospitals, affiliated medical centers, stuff like that. Having anything of the sort on school property does not benefit our children as far as a educational standpoint. And that's not what we're here for. And that's not what you are here to expose our children to. I cannot stress enough how much I oppose any sort of vaccine clinic on school property. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Eric Daniels.
Eric Daniels, 18 Marion Terrace. Same sentiments as Jeff. This vaccine clinic is a medical treatment, and this is an educational place, a place for education, not to give out treatments and shots and whatnot. And it's still not a fully FDA approved shot, regardless. It's emergency use. What's the emergency? They stopped it. So I oppose the vaccine clinic. I don't think it's right. I don't think school is the place for it, especially there's Lord's walk-in clinic just down the road. There's many other places they can go get it if they want to.
Thank you. Jamie Young.
Yeah, Jamie Young, Caldesbury Ave. I was just wondering if I could get a copy of the wellness screener. Because I was told by my son's teacher that I was not allowed to have it sent to me. And she sent me an example. And the example's it's pretty ridiculous. I know it's not anything that the school is doing, it's the state. But I want to know why I can't have it shared with me.
The wellness
Screener.
screen.
Are you talking about what the nurse does when you call your child in sick?
No.
Elementary wellness screening.
Elementary
It was just
wellness
implemented.
screener. We got a letter on October 18th saying if we wanted to opt our child out of it. We had to reply by the 17th, so it's like And
Yeah,
then
but
we're not
the-
allowed to see it. Like,
The mental
I have-
health wellness.
I have major issues. with that. I want to see it.
I would be happy. It's a mental health screener and I can
I
definitely
want
let
to
you
see,
know
would like to see
what
the
what the
whole
questions
thing.
are.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. There's no others that wish to speak. Okay, that concludes public comment. 2.1 Superintendent's report.
Yes. The school district, once again, for 20 some odd years, has been awarded a plaque from Utica National. And it basically is for the safety provisions that the district has. The district has, for a number of years, taken the safety of the building and the students very, very seriously. And it's been recognized by the Utica National, who's the insurance carrier, liability insurance carrier we have. So they come in, they do look through the place, we fill out some forms, and not a lot of schools get it. So it's a feather in your cap that you've been able to do it for so long. There's also a $500 check involved. So later on in the agenda, you'll be accepting that.
Very good.
Culvert repair is pretty nearly complete at this stage of the game. They put the guardrails up on Friday, I believe it was, and so that's done. We're waiting one more, and we may have to wait till spring. I'm afraid that the asphalt plants aren't going to function much longer. We've got a little bit more of asphalt to get laid down, but other than that, the thing is pretty well taken care of. The storm on Tuesday night gave it a pretty good workout, and it came through with flying colors. It really worked out quite well. The new riprap is a nice addition to the culvert. So we were thankful for that. The vaccination clinic questions at the last meeting, there were a number of questions relative to the vaccine clinics. And, I think I have answered those questions. You should have gotten those this week, today actually. If there are other questions, let me know what they might be. And, we'll get answers for you.
I was able to, thank you, Gray. You allowed me to ask questions. He met with the BOH today, right? This morning, every week you get a BOH meeting. So I asked several questions. I shared with our board members. I talked about marketing, which shot are they using? What incentives we'll be providing. I saw a link that some schools are providing incentives for their children from 12 to 16. We talked about parents signing and, their time and place. Liabilities of the district and our liabilities, what would be the hours of hosting, and if we receive any financial gain, which no, we do not, it's community service. So, great, thank you for providing me with all that information. The marketing notice will go on the website if this is something that we choose to do. I asked about the shot since none are FDA approved for this age group. It's approved, the Pfizer shot was approved, you said, under the emergency, and Johnson & Johnson, if for over 16, you said no, they said no incentives. This is a community service.
All the district is doing is
Is providing the space, yeah.
During school hours or after?
And what hours? Yeah, that was.
It's up to the district to determine. It could be just during the day. If that were what the district wanted to do, it could be afterwards if they want to offer the community the opportunity to come in. There can be some combination of both, but that's up to the district. What would happen is that someone from the DOH would come out and sit down and answer the questions, and there would be a discussion back and forth. And they're pretty accommodating and pretty flexible, whatever it is that the district would like to do. But there isn't any liability to this. It's no different than the flu clinics that Wegmans offers. They come, we just offer space, and anybody who wants a flu shot, you get a flu shot.
Don't you have to vote on that?
No.
That's insane. That is insane.
100%.
Way above your scope.
If these children don't get vaccinated, they're gonna get kicked out of school.
No,
No.
it's completely.
No,
It's just for the community.
It's for anybody
The
that would.
Pfizer
That's
vaccine has
wrong.
been approved for 2 to 11-year-olds. That means our kids are technically approved to be vaccinated. And you're bringing vaccinations for children. How many children have died of COVID? What is it, less than 500? And what is the number? 95% of them had multiple comorbidities? This is ridiculous.
And the way you're
I
doing
can't
it is
even
wrong
believe
too.
this.
Keeping the community uninvolved, that's wrong.
The chances of myocarditis are like 1 in 4,000. And the chance of a kid falling very ill from COVID they're like 1 in a million. It does not affect them. And they can still catch COVID. It's not like it's protecting them from anything. This is baloney.
We're not doing this, like we haven't decided.
We
that,
haven't
right?
decided.
Oh,
to do
he
That
just
does
asked
not,
it.
no.
He just said they were doing it.
No.
No,
You don't have to vote on it.
You asked if the public could vote on it.
I think what they were asking is
Yes,
if
I
we
think
were.
that's
voting.
fair.
I said, no,
Well,
you have to
yeah.
vote on it.
Yes, you guys.
Yes, we, as a board,
That's
we will
not, that's
vote.
not the way
voted.
you're presenting it
You
right
guys
now.
vote unanimously?
So this came up at our last meeting and
Briefly,
yes, briefly,
And we
and we
tabled it.
were not all together, so we tabled it.
Did
it doesn't sound like
did
you tabled
anybody
it
hear
because there's
the
a lot of
quote from
information going on
the
here.
doctor
And a lot
at
of
the
discussion
FDA
amongst yourselves outside
yesterday
of a
when they
public
approved
meeting.
it 17-0,
No.
17 yeses to 0 nos. One of the doctors was quoted in saying something along the lines, I'm not gonna get the quote exact, but how are we gonna know if they're effective if we don't put them in our kids? We're just gonna experiment on our kids? Like, no, I'm not doing it. My kids are not getting it. Nope.
If we have a clinic here, it doesn't mean your children have to be vaccinated.
This is a
It's only for
school, but
people
I
that
know,
want to
and that's
get
my problem
vaccinated.
is
It's
we're
not
having
a
a clinic here.
place
That's
for
not right.
vaccination.
That's not right.
It's a
You're an
school.
educational
Even
board.
in a
You're not
van that
you're not a
pulls
health
up.
services board.
What have we taught our kids forever? Stay away from vans that want to give you candy. But now we're gonna bring one right from, it's just lunacy.
I appreciate where you're going with this. Let us have our discussion, public comment, and guys, I
I
appreciate
know
what you're
you get
saying,
it. I know you get it.
but let's,
Thank you.
no, stick around, because we're gonna discuss this. So,
Thank you, Jamie.
I will lead this discussion. We were asked last time if we were okay with holding a pop-up clinic. And we tabled it because all members were not present at the time. So we are gonna decide tonight if we're okay having a pop-up clinic. I am vehemently against it. I think everyone here knows where I stand, and I have a few reasons. I also read the statement on the Department of Health's website, and an excerpt from that says, in anticipation for FDA approval of COVID vaccinations for children aged 5 to 11, and to encourage more children aged 12 to 18 years to get vaccinated, New York State Department of Health would like to strongly encourage school districts to become vaccination sites to support community vaccination efforts. Okay, back it up a little. What does it say? And to encourage more children. What business do we have encouraging children to be vaccinated? I believe that's the right of the parents. I do not want
Yes.
my child to be encouraged to be vaccinated. So I am vehemently against this. I had also asked for data regarding quarantine. And again, I just want to preface the statement with, we have a strong district, our administration is strong, and they've been working their tails off. That is the entire administration and superintendent. And they're doing the best that they believe, they are doing what they believe is best. However, I've asked for data to support the quarantine. My daughter, for example, has been quarantined 5 or 6 times, not once positive. So I was curious, what did the numbers suggest? As of October 21st, our district has had a total of 40 positive COVID-19 cases district-wide. And let's see,
In 18 months?
since the beginning of this school year, we've had a total of 40 positive cases. Out of those, there have been a total of 240 faculty, staff, and students quarantined. That number includes the 40 positive cases. So my big question was, out of those quarantines, how many are resulting in positive COVID cases? The answer was 1.
I think one of the things that I love about Gray and leading this initiative since the last time it was tabled is I was able to give him a list of 8 questions. And he was able to provide us clear, respectful, responsible answers.
Yes.
I don't necessarily like the answers. But when Amy asked for that data, we got the data quickly. We worked together and looked at it. And I want to thank you for providing that with steadfast. So the conversation is happening today.
Mhm.
And I also do not agree to have it on campus. I had no problem with the 18 and over COVID being here. I thought that was different. I thought it was a community service. I researched and within 10 miles, there are 23 available
Within 5 miles, there's
walk-in
20.
sites to most of our district, including very close to 13778, 13746. I did every zip code that those folks can get into it. So there are options other than us where last year when we provided the COVID clinic, it was really about the older people being able to get into here and a service to our community. These are our children. I am also not for hosting at this time, especially while this is not an FDA approved, other than for emergency. I do not see an emergency with 1 positive case coming out of a quarantine unit.
I mean, there really is no benefit to hold the clinic, number one, because we know everyone in this community has had the chance to have the vaccine, their kids get vaccinated. We hold the clinic, no one's coming anyway, so there's really no benefit to hold this clinic here at the school because everyone in this community has had the chance, and like you said, there's so many places you can go now, so I really see no benefit in doing it.
There was a clinic at the Broome County Fair. My friend worked it at the Broome County Fair. 6 people utilized it at the Broome County Fair. I think that we have opportunities in our area for more flexible times for families to make it in. If they want to choose to do that, I believe in body autonomy. That's their decision for their family. And I'm not comfortable encouraging it because I feel like if I encourage it, that means I endorse it.
Endorse it.
And I'm not comfortable with that.
Mhm.
Family and your doctor.
I think that us hosting one would not be encouraging anyone. It's just telling people, if you want to get your kid vaccinated, and you can't get them to the doctor, you can come here. That being said, no one is here saying, yes, we want this clinic. No one's here to speak about that. All 3 people here are saying, no, they don't want it. So I would vote to not have it because it doesn't seem like it's something the community wants.
Right.
I said, there's no benefit. I don't really see an urgent need for it here. So, I mean,
And I feel the same way. It's not a fight worth fighting.
it-
Being a parent and grandparent, I feel the same way, so I can't support it either.
Seems like you've made your decision and I'm cool with that. I just want to point out, as a teacher in the district, there are kids who don't have the ability to get to the other sites. You can believe what you want, but there are students in this district who don't have a parent or a guardian or any other method to get to those other vaccination sites. That's just a fact. And when things like this come up in the future, I think it's important we keep that in mind. You know, the majority of the kids might have access, but the reality is that some of them do not.
Okay, so the answer to that would be the school creates something where they have correspondence with the parent agreeing that they can provide safe transportation to one of the other vaccinations.
I'm not disputing what the decision is.
I'm
simply
personally-
pointing
We
out.
got a lot of Suburbans that probably don't.
I
do a
want to
lot,
thank
right?
you. I want to thank you for standing up for that, sir. I think that's important. And I think let's get with our guidance. Let's get with the Liberty Partnership. Let's get with every single person we have on board and get those children what they need, whether it's for goodness sakes, a vaccine or an annual checkup.
Sure, and
Let's
maybe
do that.
there is a creative path. I think that there are resources here that can be used in a
It
creative
doesn't
way.
need to be on smooth ground.
And really,
Health is the resource center.
And that's where the advocacy efforts really should be directed, is the Department of Health, because there's an awful lot that does not make sense. It does not make sense, but we are complying because the threat is out of compliance is $1,000 a day fine. Now, I'm cool with
And
being
not to
out of
mention
compliance if someone wants to
insurance.
pay that $1,000 a day. But yeah, there's a lot that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make
Big
sense.
insurance.
Pardon?
Not to mention big insurance.
Mhm. So,
Come and go.
I think the important thing to take away is, this dreadful C word has created a lot of division over the year and a half, and we've got to try to rise above that and not let it divide and keep our focus where it needs to be. So, no vaccine clinic. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, all right, 2.2, board report.
Oh crap, that's me.
All right, let's, emails. Okay. So the way we're gonna do it is emails that are received, I'm going to acknowledge, we will acknowledge in very general terms. Just so you know that we've gotten it, because individual students, individual situations cannot be discussed. We have received 2 regarding public comment, which Erin has made clear how public comment works. 1 regarding a child who is no longer a student, regarding, let's see. No longer a student at CF wanting to wrestle, can't do it, and it's not a CF rule, it is a section in New York State rule. And 1 very upset individual whose family member got taken out of homecoming because they were exposed. So yes, I am sure that was very upsetting, and I'm sorry that that happened. Again, complying with Department of Health. On a different note, I'm gonna take a breath. Oh, on a more positive note, Mr. Stevens, thank you. We'll turn the focus to you for a moment. Mr. Stevens came to us by way of an enthusiastic recommendation of BOCE Superintendent Albike. He jumped into the hot seat on July 1st with an enormous amount to deal with. As if all things COVID weren't enough for even the most seasoned of superintendents, we had just gone through a difficult transition district-wide, and we're in desperate need of repair and healing. Enter Gray, a breath of fresh air and positivity. In 4 short months, Mr. Stevens analyzed our current practices, creating improved efficiency where needed by facilitating the redistribution of resources to allow for better workflow and functionality. He revitalized the approach taken on issues and problems. He strengthened our administration by providing necessary guidance and supports, as well as clearly defining roles and responsibilities. He made members feel appreciated. His acute awareness of the overall well-being of Chenango Forks has helped strengthen who we are as a district, giving us that much needed boost. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, he accomplished this with honesty, integrity, and open communication. He brought trust into the position. Ray, thank you very, very much for all you've done for us.
Who are you
Thank you.
talking about? Thank you very much.
One more small thing under board report. Would you guys, board, like to get a set of long sleeve shirts as we go into the winter? These are not very warm. You guys good with that? I can work with Aaron, get some ordered.
That are not this
Only
material.
if I can
That
wear
are
them
not
on
this
other days.
material. Yes, no.
You're
All
fine
right.
to the full shirt.
Does Tom have anything he wanted to say?
Okay, so we'll get together on that. Thanks. Okay, I am all set. 2.3 committee reports.
Are you gonna talk about the policy committee? And what we do? Policy committee met, gosh, Tuesday? Ugh. And we did review we have a policy review in place so that we'll be continuing to review all the policies over a 5-year period. So we did review 2 policies, 0100 and 0110 that do not require any changes on the agenda for first reading. We're going to keep them as is. There were 2 other policies reviewed that we need updating, and NISBA, the New York State School Board Association, is sending the committee the newest versions of these 2 policies. The first one is policy 0115, student harassment and bullying prevention and intervention. This is going to be reviewed by Lori Porby and then the principals. Then we will meet with the policy committee to finalize that. Once we meet as a policy committee, we'll bring it to the board for read. Then policy 0150, HIV/AIDS. We will be reviewed and edited again by Lori, the nurses and the principals. This one hasn't been reviewed in quite some time, so I'm excited to bring it into the new millennium to make sure that we're meeting all the needs of our students. Once they review it, the policy committee brings back to us, and then we'll bring it to the board for a first reading, so you'll hear that. The committee has also started the process for sending these policies to deal with technology. I also sit on the technology board, so it was very easy. It was Tuesday afternoon. I should have just stayed here all day. I came back that afternoon, and I want to thank Lori ran that meeting with me, and as a newbie in the group, I felt very welcome, but I did bring forward a new policy to that board, which their homework is to review it, edit it, which we will then bring it back to policy meeting and then come in for first read. It's on, I forgot the name. Oh, I have it. Sorry. She gave it back to me. She borrowed it. The policy is 8630. It's computer resources and data management. So we brought that to technology meeting. It felt appropriate to go to that meeting. And as far as coming to technology report, the technology committee, again, thank you for welcoming me, Lori. I did get excited. There's a survey coming out. I want to punt to you about equity and supporting students. Thank you.
So New York State Education Department wants school districts across New York State to survey families regarding digital equity. Digital equity is easy in schools, right? Chenango Forks, we have one-on-one devices, we have Wi-Fi and those sorts of things. So basically the survey is a very simple survey. It's a 9-question survey. And it asks families questions like, did your school provide your child with a device? Is the device your school provided your child the device they learn to complete things, or do they use a different type of device? Do you have internet service at your house? So there's 9 questions. And so the way that New York State would like the education department is to try to get as much as 100% participation as possible. And we spoke about that. And the only time in my knowledge and education that we've ever really had that is last year when we had to choose learning if you're going to go full remote or your learning style. So we met with the admin team and said, how could we try to get this? So in grades 6 through 12, our students have school tool. The Southern tier, the RIC is what they call it. They're going to upload it to all schools in school tool. If they use that as their student management system, they'll do it in Power School. And then the students can take the survey. What we wanted to do is communicate with our families so they know that a student is going to take a survey. So Drew and Steve will send out information, and we're going to post the survey on the website so parents can look at the survey and see it. Like I said, it's just basically questions. And in grades K to 5, they don't use school tool. So what we thought we would do is that we can get a copy of the survey, put it in the elementary school report cards with a letter to our families, letting them know, what the purpose of the survey is. And then they can return it, pretty just like a paper pencil type of thing. So we're looking to do that the end of November, December. And it is something that New York State, we do it on our BEDS form. We report digital. And so they're looking at kind of replacing that data with this. So thank you, Christine.
Well, thank you. That's it for the 2 committees I'm on.
Thank you. Okay, 3.1. MOA synchronous learning for the 2021-2022 school year. And this is just a place to discuss. Did you want to brief us on what that is?
Yeah, what we have is a one-year agreement with the FTA. And the notion is that the administration and the teachers got together, I think, 3 or 4 different times, discussing the utilization of our learning platforms and zooming into classes for students who may be out for COVID, and how that's going to work, what the parameters are for that. So that's what this agreement is. We both agree to the parameters that have been put out there. But I think the culture here is that MOUs have always been brought to the board for information purposes. So you know what's going on.
Any further discussion? 4.1. On recommendation of the superintendent, a motion to adopt policy number 8635E, Parent Bill of Rights for Student Data Privacy and Security Third-Party Contractor Supplement, and policy number 8431, Transportation to Summer School Transportation. Transportation to summer school as attached. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Mary.
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Discussion. Roll call.
Amy O'Brien.
Aye.
Mary Collins.
Aye.
Michael Vavra.
Aye.
Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
And Christine Webb.
Motion passed. Upon recommendation of the superintendent, a motion to approve 5.1 through 5.5.
Motion.
Thank you, Mike.
Second.
Thank you, Mary. Discussion. Roll call.
Amy O'Brien.
Aye.
Mary Collins.
Aye.
Michael Vavra.
Aye.
Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
And Christine Webb.
Aye. Motion passed. 5.6, upon recommendation of the superintendent, a motion to approve the following probationary appointment. Clara Tanner, tenure area school counselor. Date of commencement of service on probation, November 29th, 2021. Date of end of probationary service, subject to education law 3012, November 28th, 2025. Certification status provisional. Salary MA step 3, $55,459. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Mary.
Second.
Thanks, Lynn. Discussion?
Just that I'm very excited that we're getting another one. We have a lot of needs here, and I'm happy that we had the money to afford something that we need tremendously, so.
Absolutely. The money for this position is coming from the. Is this
I
the
think we were
relief?
Put it in the budget through breakage, I believe.
First year, but after that, it's through breakage.
Okay, cool. Very good. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Amy O'Brien.
Aye.
Mary Collins.
Aye.
Michael Vavra.
Aye.
Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
And Christine Webb.
Aye. Motion passed. Welcome, Clara. Is Clara here? She is not. Well, if you're watching, welcome. Okay, 5.7, drum roll. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby appoints and employs Thomas Burkhart as Superintendent of Schools for the period of November 1st, 2021 to October 31st, 2024. And further approves the employment agreement dated October 28th, 2021, setting forth the terms and conditions of such employment, of such appointment and employment. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you,
Big
Mary.
motion.
Second.
Thank you.
Oh,
Lynn.
come on, I'll second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Amy O'Brien.
Aye.
Mary Collins.
Aye.
Michael Vavra.
Aye.
Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
And Christine Webb.
Aye. Unanimous. Welcome, Mr. Burkhart.
Can we stand?
It's my turn to say something. I
Yes.
just wanted to say thank you to the board. I know it's a long process for you. As I was part of that process, but I know it started much further before I came into the picture. And I know your diligence with that is greatly appreciated for the Chenango Forks community. I just also wanted to take a moment to personally thank Mr. Stevens with his, just with his graciousness with welcoming me into this position, and the time and care that he put into the integration process that helped me move into this position has been fantastic. Just over my visits over the last month or so have been very well timed out, very strategic, giving me the opportunity to meet some key people in the district. And I just want to say, I've just been overwhelmed with the friendliness and the welcoming nature of the entire educational community. It's been fantastic. Can't wait to get to work here. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I wanted to say, the administrative staff, the people that I've been able to work with, the teaching staff that I've been able to meet has just been fantastic. I even got to visit a couple pep rallies last week, so I wore my Chenango Forks tie and gear, and it was just a fantastic, just a great celebration for the entire community to see the entire, K through 12th grade student body and staff be able to get together and celebrate Chenango Forks. Is fantastic to see. So that's something I'm ready to be a part of right now. I can't wait to get started, like I said before, and ready to roll. So thank you very much for your confidence in my ability to help us continue to move forward. And thank you, Gray, again, for your fantastic mentorship and leadership, helping me integrate to this position. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 6.1 financial dashboard, information only. Upon recommendation of the superintendent, a motion to approve 6.2 through 6.9.
Motion.
Thanks, Mike.
Second.
Thanks, Lynn. Discussion? Roll call?
Amy O'Brien.
Aye.
Mary Collins.
Aye.
Michael Vavra.
Aye.
Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
And Christine Webb.
Aye.
Motion passed. And I just want to thank Zappia Athletic Products for the $200 donation to the nurses discretionary fund. And yes, Utica National for a $500 donation. Thank you.
$610.
610, thank you. 6.10, I did 6.9. All right, be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools that the Chenango Forks Board of Education does and hereby authorizes the air handler capital project with an estimated cost of $1,500,000 funded by the American Recovery Plan, ARP, and the amount of $1,500,000. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Lynn.
Second.
Thank you, Mary. Discussion?
What, are we doing air handlers in all the schools?
In many of them, the majority of them, and what we don't cover with this, we'll cover with the building plan. I mean, the pool project, for example, already has some in it.
So all of them will be replaced.
I think that's the plan. When we get all finished, we're looking at another plan for, on the heels of this for the middle school. And so some of that would be finished up in the middle school.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Amy O'Brien.
Aye.
Mary Collins.
Aye.
Michael Vavra.
Aye.
Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
And Christine Webb.
Motion passed. 7.1. A motion for consideration of executive session to discuss contract negotiations.
Motion.
Thank you, Mike.
Second.
Thank you, Lynn. Discussion? Roll call?
Amy O'Brien.
Aye.
Mary Collins.
Aye.
Michael Vavra.
Aye.
Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
Christine Webb.
Aye.
Motion passed. You've rented before. wasn't
No,
that
I
your
didn't.
eye? Oh, okay. Are we coming back out making any decisions?
No.
Okay. We will not be taking any action tonight. So you're welcome to stay until we adjourn or have a good night if you choose to leave.